Hello, it's Scott here again. I've put a short video together on how to remote control devices on your four-wheel drive. In this case, I've made all the camping floodlights remote controlled, which I think will make it very, very handy when I'm out in the desert, because I can leave the place floodlit and then go back to my tent and turn the lights off. Or if I want to get up in the night, I can turn the lights on, floodlight the area and get out of my tent. So I think it'll be far more convenient and safer. So I hope you find this helpful. So before we get into the detail, I thought I'd just show you a bit of footage and some photos of a recent trip along the first 700 kilometres of the Canning Stock route. It's a must do if you're into four-wheel driving or enduro riding. It's a magnificent country out there. So I hope you find this interesting. So I'm just going to show you how this board works. So I've powered it up using a cordless drill battery, which is 12 volts. So these two terminals here, that one's the negative, that one's the positive. So that actually powers up the circuit board. So I've got a short wire here going to the negative terminal, and then I've got this long wire here going to the positive terminal, and you can see the LED lights on, which shows me the board's powered up. And then you've got 4 relays here, which can take 20 amps, so they can take quite a high load. And these are the switch blocks for the relays. So that switching block terminal is for this relay, the next one is for this relay, and so on. To program the remote controls that come with it is very, very simple. So you get a remote control with 4 buttons. Each button will correspond to one of these relays. There's a button here. You just do A first, then B, and C and D. So there's a button here. You push the button till the blue light goes off. Let it go, and then press A, and it will flash 3 times, which now means it's programmed. So you do the same process for the other 3 buttons. Now this relay here, when the relay closes, it connects these 2 terminals. So I've rigged up a test light here. So I've got the positive, another positive line that's coming in to this side of the switch block. Then on the other side I've got one terminal of this bulb connected, and then the other terminal of the bulb goes back to the ground, back to earth, back to the negative terminal. So when I press button A, the light turns on. When I press button A again, the light turns off. And then if I press button B, the second relay activates. I haven't got a globe in there. And then if I turn it again, the second relay opens. If I press C, the third relay closes. Press C again, the third relay opens, and so on. So you can see how this can be very handy for remotely controlling lights or some device on your vehicle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount that little circuit board in this waterproof enclosure. I'll drill a hole in here to bring the cables in. So I've mounted the little module inside this enclosure here. I've used double-sided tape, very strong tape, so it's not going to go anywhere. And I've put fly leads on all the terminals here, and I've labelled them. So that's for relay B, that's for relay D, that's C, and the last one here is A. Now the relays are lettered A, B, C, D. A is the one closest to the switch block, the power supply switch block, and then that's B, that's C, that's D. So at the moment I can just test them. So if I touch that onto the A lead, I've got the other lead connected to the positive supply from the battery. It's going in here through the switch block there, and then coming back out to the globe, and then the other side of the globe is just onto the negative. So when it's on the car, that's the ground, so that'll just be earthed. So if I press A, the light goes on. If I press it again, it goes off. Now just as a test, we'll check one of the other ones. So if we test B, so B is the second relay. I'll connect B onto the positive side there, one leg, and I'll put the wire onto the other lead. And now if I press B, the light goes on. Press it again, it goes off. So I know what to do now. All the leads are there. I can mount this on the vehicle, and then I can connect up the various lights. I've also made up a power cable. It's this one here, and I've wrapped it in insulation tape. So that's connected to the power supply for the board here, and then the other end I've got it connected direct to the battery. So what my plan is I will have this connected to the auxiliary battery on the vehicle through a switch, so that I can switch this module off, because if the car's going to be sitting around for weeks on end, which it tends to do, obviously this would be powered up, and I guess it would slowly drain the battery. So I'll just have a switch here so I can isolate it, you know, if I'm not going to use the vehicle for some time. The enclosure just behind the cab, and you can see I've powered it up. So the cable here goes up to a switch up there. So that side there is going off to the auxiliary battery, and then this side here comes down to my power cable for the enclosure. So if I turn the switch off, it powers it off. So that's stage one. So this is the first device that I've finished wiring, and I've used relay A, which is the left hand floodlight. So those two wires there, it's coming from a 12 volt positive power, goes down there through the relay, comes back out here and goes to into that tube there and up to that floodlight, which you can see up there. Okay, the moment of truth. So I'm going to press button A, and it works.